In India, shares of Adani Group companies continued to slide for a third straight session following a report from short seller Hindenburg that accused the conglomerate of stock manipulation and an accounting fraud scheme.
Now, the brutal stock rout in Gautam Adani's companies continued on Friday, with the losses since Hindenburg's report extending to $118 billion, making it one of the worst in India's history.
After sinking in last week's report from Hindenburg Research that accused Adani of fraud and stock price manipulation.
All the listed stocks of Adani firms continued their free fall on Friday, with Adani Enterprises dropping as much as 35% and adding to a nearly 50% plunge.
Gautam Adani was the fourth richest person in the world. With a personal fortune estimated at $120 billion, the self-made Indian industrialist was wealthier than either Bill Gates or Warren Buffett. Then Hindenburg Research, an American short seller with bets against Adani's companies, accused him of pulling off the largest con in corporate history. Adani's firms have lost $110 billion in value since then, and his own wealth has been halved to little more than $61 billion as investors pull their support. While the Adani Group has condemned the report as baseless and malicious, investor questions about its claims linger, and the fallout is growing. Adani's business partners and lenders are clarifying their ties to the conglomerate, while India's federal government is reportedly launching an investigation of his business after an outcry by opposition lawmakers. This is a brief story we heard, but in this video, we will focus on Gautam Adani. And the rise of the Adani Group is not a single-day phenomenon. Let's see the rise of Adani Group step by step, from the beginning till now, and what are their plans to expand in the future. So please like, share, and subscribe to impress YouTube algorithms, which will motivate us to bring more exciting and knowledgeable videos like this.
Gautam Adani, the Indian tycoon who has climbed the wealth rankings at breakneck speed this year, has surpassed Jeff Bezos to become the world's second richest person.
Gautam Adani was born on June 24, 1962, in Ahmedabad, Gujarat, India, into a Bania family, to Shantilal and Shanta Adani. His family was involved in the textile business. He was ambitious and determined from a young age. He had little interest in academics, and dropped out of school as a teenager. He later attended Gujarat University but did not stay to complete his degree. While he was interested in business, he had no intention of joining his father's textile unit. His entrepreneurial spirit made him leave Ahmedabad and move to Mumbai when he was 18. Possessing just a few hundred rupees, the young man was determined to make it big. He began working as a diamond sorter at Mahindra Brothers and set up his diamond brokerage business after a couple of years. His business did well, and he became a millionaire by the time he was 20. By this time, his elder brother had newly purchased a plastic factory in Ahmedabad and asked Gautam Adani to help him run it. Adani returned to Ahmedabad and started working with his brother. He soon began commodity trading by importing polyvinyl chloride (PVC), a critical raw material for manufacturing plastic, and visited South Korea, where he made a deal to import PVC. Initially, his business faced many difficulties, largely the shortage of plastic granules. In overcoming these shortages, he required 20 tons of PVC each month to keep his company's head out of the water. However, a deal came from India's sole producer IPCL, who was not efficiently supplying the plastic on time. Gautam Adani overcame this difficulty with plastic granules by importing the plastic granules through Kendla Port in 1988. According to one of Adani's custom officer, during the fluctuations of plastic granules market prices, when other business houses could not fulfill their agreement, Gautam Adani was the only person who fulfilled his promise. Soon after resolving the plastic shortage, Adani collected the letter of authorization from a small plastic maker and started placing bulk PVC orders. After some time, Adani Group tied up with the Gujarat State Export Corporation to expand the group's business. As it was supplying the input to small businesses and consolidating all the requests under the GCC, Gautam Adani had eliminated the requirements for a letter of authorization. By importing, Adani used to pass GCC the products of their demand, and he used to sell the leftover products at a handsome profit to other clients. Soon, he was granted an import license by the Gujarat government with a ceiling of 12 crores letter of authorization. During this phase, the business of the Adani Group grew at a blistering pace. Between 1988 and 1992, the import volume of Adani Company increased from 100 metric tons to 40,000 metric tons. Moreover, Adani started importing petroleum goods, chemicals, and PVC granules. Adani Group, with time, expanded itself in the export of products, and soon Adani Group emerged as the star trade house, which reduced the need for bank guarantees. Adani Group, alongside EXIM business, expanded into the infrastructure business in the late 90s. He decided to venture into the ports and plants project also. Consequently, Mundra Port became his first financial venture project. But the Adani Group started to face political criticism over his port project from influential politicians like George Fernandez. Later they started to face massive losses because of their delayed projects in Kandla and the Mumbai port. Adani decided to convert Mundra into a private captive port to resolve the delay problem. The LPG reforms took place in India in 1991. The Gujarat government in 1994 decided to manage the new ports as a joint venture of state and private companies. It decided on the list of 10 ports, including the name of Mundra Port. Due to the economic importance of Mundra Port, the government of Gujarat announced the managerial outsourcing of the Mundra Port, and in 1995, the contract was awarded to the Adani Group. The first ship was known to be docked at Mundra Port in 1998. Between 1998 and 2002, Adani expanded into the coal and thermal power plant business but had not achieved much. The growth of Mundra Port between these 4 years was nothing much extraordinary, and even Gautam Adani claimed that his decision to take over Mundra Port had backfired. The destiny-changing moment came for Adani Group when Kandla Port in 2000 took a self-defeating decision by rejecting the offer of one of the largest port operators, P&O Ports Australia. After this backout, P&O Ports offered this deal to the Adani Group by infusing equity in the Adani Group. The growth of Mundra Port started seeing new heights after these investments. Mundra Port is now one of the main cash cows for the Adani Group. Adani Ports and Special Exclusive Zones have achieved an operating margin of 71% for over a decade. Citibank chose the Adani Group for developing a non-LNG terminal at Hajira Port. After taking the tender award in 2009, the construction started in 2010. The port started its operation in 2012. Gautam Adani later planned to set up a power plant at Mundra with a 5,000 megawatt power generating capacity. Today, the collective power generating capacity of thermal power plants of the Adani Group is 4,640 megawatt. His turnover has impressively increased from 3,300 crores in 2000 to 47,000 crores in 2013. The expansion of the Adani Group started between 2009 and 2012, when the Adani Group also acquired the coal mines of Abbot Point Portor, Queensland, Australia. Seeing this initiative of the Adani Group, Warburg has invested $110 million in the Adani ports and Adani's special economic exclusive zones. The French Total has also invested $2.5 billion worth of money into Adani Greens. Adani Group has targeted to add as much as 8-fold equity growth to its subsidiaries by 2025. By expanding itself in other critical sectors, Adani Group has also gained the air traffic of 7 national and international airports in India, which is 1/4 of India's traffic control. Moreover, it has decided to boost its capacity 8-fold to generate renewable capacity electricity for India. It is closely aligned with India's commitment to becoming a carbon-neutral country by 2070. Adani Group signed a pact with Edgeconics to develop data centers throughout India and has planned to enter the defense sector, as the government of India has also planned to reduce the foreign arms export.